you don't forgive for you. You forgive for the other party. And it doesn't make any sense to say that you don't. The thing that I hate most about this idea that to heal you have to forgive, the closest you get is through a state of moral superiority. You place yourself above the person you are forgiving. And you enter a form of emotional bypassing and spiritual narcissism, which doesn't allow you to process what you're feeling. It doesn't allow you to move past it. It puts you in a position where you have the same relationship with the other person as a dom who uses someone as a footstool. That's if you have enough sociopathy in your makeup to achieve even a little bit of peace when forgiving when you don't actually mean it. For most of us, when we try to forgive what is frankly unforgivable, we end up stuffing our emotions down. And maybe we get the high of the pretend making up and moving on. But on some level, we understand that we've betrayed ourselves and we're never going to be at peace with ourselves until we're honest about what we feel and what we think about the other person and the situation as a whole. As I said in an article I published a while back that I'm going to link in the description when this goes live, people put too many concepts together under the umbrella of forgiveness. And forgiveness is used as shorthand for letting go. And there's merit to letting go. If you find yourself obsessing over a situation when you're not even physically present with the other person 90% of the time, or at all anymore, you are making them a god in your own mind. You are giving them more power than you have in your life because they're dictating your emotional state. Instead of pouring your energy into being creative, forming new relationships, pursuing new opportunities, you are obsessing over them, you are triggering yourself, you're keeping yourself in a heightened state within your nervous system. You have a hard time sleeping, you have a hard time relaxing, you have a hard time enjoying things you used to love. It's absolutely true that resentment, if it is combined with obsession, will destroy you. But you can still think someone is a bastard and move on from the situation. The way that people use forgiveness, historically speaking, there's one valid way of framing it. There's one valid way of framing, I'm letting this go and I am forgiving you, but I'm not necessarily going to give you anything else, or I'm not going to let you back into my life. And that would be when we're talking about things like forgiving debts. If you forgive a debt, you're wiping it from the ledger and you're giving up on your ability to ever collect on it. But in interpersonal relationships, there's more nuance than there is in banking terms. And I think that's one of the subtle ways we've mutilated our personal relationships into something that's more transactional than it is something based in instinct or nature or heart. Just because it's too expensive for me to pursue justice in a situation, or there's no realistic way that I can get what is rightfully mine from another person. It doesn't mean that I have forgiven them in the sense that it means something personally. I can't separate forgiveness from action. I can't look at a friend or a loved one or someone I've worked with and say that I would never let them back in my life or even let them speak to me again, but I forgive them. That's just moral superiority. If I try to play that game, I am making it out like I am above them and that they depend on me for their worth and their validation. And to be frank, it's just a mental game I would be playing with myself, because they don't have to care one way or the other if I forgive them. And if they do, and they stick around me when I'm in that morally superior state, we're entering into a toxic cycle that isn't good for either of us. There's something to be said for honest hatred. You don't want to live in it. You don't want to be obsessive. But being able to drum up anger towards someone, being able to feel a visceral hatred towards someone who violated you in a way that they can never take back and that they can never make right when they're brought up in conversation, or when they try to speak to you after you've told them that you never want to see them again. Not only is that healthy, I think that's what a balanced individual looks like. We live in a world of dualities, and you don't transcend dualities by disowning one half of a duality. You transcend duality, and you transcend false dichotomies by embodying wholeness. And wholeness means that in order for me to love, I also have to be able to hate. And this will be another a topic for another video. But I believe that unconditional love only means something when it can nestle hatred within it. And for people to understand where I'm coming from, the way I would put it is that if you do not or cannot feel hatred towards someone who has done great harm to a child that you love, then I am not convinced that you're fully human. And if you can't see how that hatred could be expressed in a way where it is actually loving, in the sense that Kali Ma is loving when she destroys someone before they can destroy themselves, or she destroys someone after they have done something terrible so they cannot cause further destruction. If you can't see how bringing them to justice, let's say, I'm taking a moment to think through my language because I understand how weird and frankly preschool-like YouTube expects our language to be. But if you can't see how that has a place nestled within love, then there are many aspects of yourself that you do not yet fully understand and that you have not come around and owned. So now, not only do I think you don't have to forgive, I think that many times forgiveness is bypassing, it's running away, and it will stop you dead in your tracks when you are trying to heal and move on from what hurt you. Yes, you have to let things go, but that doesn't mean denying what you feel.